Look, to be fair, before we start watching this, I never compare, like, he's the one that compares Ashes of Creation's combat to BDO. All right? He's the one that compares it to us. All right? I'm just the one that calls him a fool for it. I love Narc, though. Let's take a look at what he has to say. Again, this is why you can't compare Ashes of Creation with Black Desert Online, guys.
Hey, what up, boys, and welcome to your daily dose of copium, where we look at topics surrounding Ashes of Creation, but also a dash of parasocialism from our streams live over at twitch.tv/Narciverse. This series wouldn't be possible without my beautiful patrons and coped out the wazoo Twitch subs, so sit back, relax, and grab yourself a Kyola, because today we have a plethora of topics for you, starting with why you can't compare Black Desert Online with Ashes of Creation, but also many more topics that are shown on the screen for you now.
Why people really hate Ashes of Creation? The combat sucks for the exact same reason that you can't compare BDO and AOC, is because BDO actually has polished combat and looks good. And why do people really hate AOC? Because the combat isn't good enough. My favorite MMO currently, probably Ashes of Creation, because it's not even out yet. Ashes of Creation is starting to show spec diversity. Okay, we'll see about that. Finally, everyone loves the combat. Oh boy. Oh boy. Community song, Tales of a Scam. All right, let's see.
With all that bollocks out of the way, let's begin, shall we?
I just want to point out that the reason that you can't compare these two games is because one of them isn't even out yet, which makes the other one infinitely better.
I don't think, however, that like the anime.
All right, so he's talking about Asmon. Okay, good, because I've reacted to this before too.
Animations are as clean as even the BDO.
Oh, okay. Oh.
I don't think, however, that like the animations are as clean as even the BDO animations.
Here's the difference between Ashes of Creation and BDO. Ashes
Again, Asmongold is 100% correct. BDO animations are way better.
of Creation has an actual class system where any race could be any class, can use any weapon, can use any armor, with a giant skill tree that has choice and build diversity in it, with a weapon skill tree that has choice and diversity in it.
We have choice and diversity, and yeah, you either take it or you don't. You have the bond skills, you know what I mean?
And they're doing content within a Trinity system where you have
He's not wrong. We don't have the Trinity system, and we don't have this, like, mix and match any... Oh. Oopsie. We don't have this mix and match. Any class can be... it can use any weapon thing, and we don't have the Trinity system. But that's not why BDO's combat is superior in every single way. That's also not why the animations aren't, like, better than Ashes, you know?
Where you have tanks, healers, and DPS. In Black Desert Online, none of this stuff exists.
Correct.
In BDO, your class is your class.
That's
There
right.
is no build diversity. You're either an awakened...
Well, some would say that there's build diversity, but those are the same people that are building Black Star armor, so...
a warrior or a succession warrior, and those are your build choices, and within the build there isn't really that much difference, right? Let's be honest, they're the same. You can pretend that there's specs with the
No, they're the
or whatever
same.
they're called,
He's right.
but there's not, right?
Yeah.
They're basically the exact same.
He's right.
You don't choose things, you don't sacrifice choices, it's just a binary thing and you take it all and you've got it all. In addition, the content in BDO, there is no group content. You can sit there and pretend
actually, he's absolutely right. There's not enough group content. But, like, they're working on that. There's group PvP, right? There's a lot of group PvP. Massive amount of... So, to say there's no group content is strictly wrong, right? There's absolutely a massive amount of PvP, okay? That's just wrong. But, like, in terms of group PvE content, he's not wrong. The dungeon's a joke. Also, I do want to point out that he's using choice. He's using choice. He's got choice in the video. Somebody tell choice.
that the game has dungeons, but let's be honest.
Also, he's got Danny King Destroyer in his party, bro. Featuring Danny.
It doesn't. It was an attempt to make a dungeon, and nobody does it anymore, because guess what? The game's...
Actually, I think it's actually a pretty good dungeon, and a lot of people actually do it every week because there's a weekly. However, he's not wrong. It's not repeatable, and the game is not based around dungeons. So with that sentiment, he's absolutely correct. It's dead content in that regard, yes. They should come out with the next iteration, but like there needs to be more dungeons that we can do, like, period. He's absolutely right about this, but like, yeah.
It's not suited for it. The major difference between Ashes of Creation and BDO is that Ashes of Creation have an actual open world MMORPG, and BDO is a single player game that monetizes its characters. They release a new character.
What? At least our game's out. Like, I don't... BDO is also an open world MMO, and there's plenty of group content that you do with your friends in BDO. You can group grind with your friends. There's going to be group boss splits very soon. There's
Brew, can you do a walkthrough guide for dungeons? All of the ones of YouTube are too confusing.
I assure you mine will be more confusing. Again, there's enough group content in BDO that, like, don't you guys feel like you can play with your friends? Now, years ago, he was absolutely right. It was basically a solo player MMO unless you were doing PvP. But nowadays, I feel like I can just, yeah, there's guild bosses. I can go grind with my friends if I want to. Like, we're going to have, like, again, we're going to have, like, the boss blitz soon. The dungeon is doable. Large-scale PvP, AOS, Guild League. Like, there's a lot of stuff that you can do with people. Yeah, like, I don't see it this way. I saw it this way years ago. He was right. But, like, again, I don't really see it that way. So let's hear him out. Let's see what he has. Let's see the explanation. Let's hear that one more time.
Open world MMORPG, and BDO is a single player game that monetizes its characters. They release a new character that is monetized, and it is a set build.
Name a single MMO that doesn't monetize around their new class. Around getting cosmetics for your characters. WoW absolutely monetizes around its class. If you have a new class release, everybody comes back to the game. They have all these new cosmetics you can buy for your class. You can get new mounts for your class. You can get new like the armor for your class. Like, WoW literally releases new classes with expansions. There you go, because they know that more people will come back and play if they release a new class with it. That's monetization, guys. For WoW, monetization, it's a monthly subscription. The entire idea is that they get you to come back and do a monthly subscription. BDO, it's definitely a little bit different. There's no monthly subscription in BDO. But, like, every MMO monetizes around a new class one way or another. For WoW, it releases a new class with the new expansion at the same time, because that dramatically increases how many people are going to come back and play the game. Because either they want to play the new class or they want to do the new expansion, right? It's still money. Still money. Like, for it, basically, it is the same way for every MMO.
Are unique to that character.
That is true.
All the spells are unique to that character. No other MMO does that. A normal MMO.
Is that true? Is that true? Do other... I could have sworn that other MMOs have animations that are locked onto that race or class, right? Like, it's true that there's no, like, race and class. Like, you can't... He's right. You can't, like, pick one race and then play it with a different class. But, like, I still don't understand how the animations... let him explain. I'm curious... like, what the excuse is for why the animations in BDO are so much better than Ashes.
MMO gives you race choice, and it allows you to interchange the animations with the class attacks, etc., etc., right? It's more globally designed. Whereas...
Sure, okay, yeah, I'll give him that, yeah.
BDO is singularly designed, where they're made specifically for that character with specific animations and specific blendings of animations, okay? That's how they design...
Look at these animations, bro.
it, and they design it deliberately like that. That's why BDO's animations are so complex and so high quality, because that's all they spend their time doing. That's all they do. Because guess what? Classes are easy to monetize. Okay,
that's just wrong. Yeah, that's just wrong. Okay, so, like, they do not only spend their time monetizing, like, the classes, A. B, all they do is spend time on the animations is kind of strange to me, and I don't understand why Ashes of Creation can't have the same level of animations that Black Desert Online has. His excuse is that because you have a different rate, you can have like, you can have like race A, B, C, D, E, right? And then you can have classes F, G, H, I, J, K, right? And race A can be class K or G or F, right? And like they can kind of mix and match what they want, so they have to make new animations for everyone. Okay, yeah, that's like a little bit more work, but like Ashes of Creation has been in development for like what, 5 years now? 4 or 5 years at least. And they still can't, and their animations aren't even close. Like it's not even remotely close. Like it's night and day, the difference between the animations. BDO also came out years ago. Dark Knight has better animations. It came out in what, 2018, 2017, whatever. Like it came out forever ago, and it still has better animations than any of the classes in Ashes of Creation, which is still in development in 2024. There's no excuse. None. Like I really don't. Oh, it's slightly more work to make more classes, or like to make some more animations, right? But like that doesn't make sense to me. You've spent 5 times as long on development. BDO, as we saw in a similar react that I did earlier, took a year and a half to create. Year and a half to create. Start to finish. Still had better animations.
Recent new class, they can sell a bunch of outfits, and they can sell a bunch of respecking tokens where you can switch to the class instantly. That's why, in my opinion, it's not very fair to compare a traditional MMO like World of Warcraft.
Whoa, back that up. What did he just say?
That's all they do, because guess what? Classes are easy to monetize. When they release a new class, they can sell a bunch of outfits, and they can sell a bunch of respecking tokens where you can
see, that's outdated. Who in the hell, bro? Does he not know about tagging? Like what? Like I would say that Pearl Abyss is like the income that they get on like people re-rolling is very small, because those tokens aren't even on the shop for very long, and you can buy like one of them at a time. They limit how many you can buy at a time within like a 4-month period. Even if everyone on the server bought them, they're still just not making a tremendous amount of money. The outfits I can agree with. Yeah, they sell a lot of outfits, but like they also don't have a subscription model, so I don't really care. They can sell as many outfits as they want. I don't care. But like tagging has been a thing for a long time. They don't monetize off this anymore. And BDO is there's a lot more to BDO than just having like classes. Like their game is not centrally focused around necessarily designing classes. They're just really good at designing classes. That much I think we can agree on. But like Land of the Morning Light was a slam dunk expansion. Of course they're spending time on Land of the Morning Light, right? Of course they're spending time on Boss Blitz. Like that slam dunk, super good. AOS, right? Arena of Solaire, like whether it be competitive or like the practice mode. Guild League, like these are all things that have come out recently that have nothing to do with like the individual classes that you're playing, but like they spend a tremendous amount of time developing this stuff, right? I disagree. Land of the Morning Light was trash content. Well, everybody's gonna have their opinion, but on the whole, Land of the Morning Light saw. Okay, also I'll show the demographics. We're gonna here. So Chris Polly's been making videos for our community for an extremely long time. See if you can point to me on the graph. Point to me on the graph where Land of the Morning Light happened. On this graph, where do you think it happened? Here? Here? It was here. This is Land of the Morning Light right here. Okay? This is the number of views he gets on YouTube. This is Chris Polly. And since he's been like making videos forever, he's a very consistent, he comes out with videos every single day. So very consistently, you can see the rise and the decline of BDO in this time frame. This is, again, July of 2023. Again, this is right when Land of the Morning Light is releasing. He's peaking for the year, right? Let's compare it to Choice. Let's look at Choice. Let's see. Where is Choice's biggest peak for the year? What do you guys think it's going to be? July? Let's see. Choice. Let's see. God, guys. Where was Land of the Morning Light? It's a tough one. It's a tough one. Okay? Where do you think Land of the Morning Light was? Okay? Land of the Morning Light was phenomenal content. It's very good. And it had very little to do with the classes that they released. Obviously, Wusa and Megu RX. What about Steam players? Well, I mean, you can look at the Steam charts too. Steam charts. BDO. Let's see. If I go to 1 year. God, guys, where's Land of the Morning Light? That's weird. Awful big spike in July. That's crazy. Like, yeah, man. Like they put a lot of work into the other content that they do in the game. That's when boss blitz and stuff released. People love that content. Asmon played. Asmon did not make that much of a spike on the game. Asmon played for like 3 hours. Okay, that was it.
Switch to the class instantly. That's why, in my opinion, it's not very fair to compare a traditional MMO like World of Warcraft, ESO, Guild Wars 2.
It was Stoops. Yeah. Stoops made 150,000 people play BDO at the same time. You're right. He absolutely has that power.
Or Ashes of Creation to a game like BDO. It's basically just a single-player MMO where every now and again they release a new class that is designed to be monetized.
The reason why people are hating on the game is that they're worried that it's going to come out and it's going to be bad.
That's not what.
He's right again. Another Asmon W.
That's not why people hate the game. Let me tell you why people really hate the game.
Honestly, I don't hate Ashes. I'm just really mad that it's taken this long to develop and there's no end in sight. I don't know about the rest of you guys, but like to me, it's not even a meme anymore. I looked at exactly what Ashes of Creation is trying to do before they release the game. Oh my, and how much they have done. Holy moly, bro. They have like 8 more biomes and like 3 more continents to get through. They haven't developed like 8 of the races yet. Like there's just no, like it's just not there. The contents, it's just not polished, man. It's like the Star Citizen of MMOs. Yeah, like that's where we're at, man.
People hate on Ashes of Creation because they've spent so much money and so much of their lives in other MMORPGs that they're worried that Ashes of Creation is going to make their time completely redundant.
Okay, I'll hit you with a counterpoint. People are really upset with Ashes of Creation and choose to hate the game because they've spent hundreds, if not thousands of dollars on this game. It has not released in 4 to 5 years. That's why they're mad. Okay? People are also mad because, like, we've been hearing hype about this game for, again, 4 to 5 years and it's still not out yet. And to be honest with you, I don't know if anybody's as mad as they are just, like, waiting. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not really mad at Ashes of Creation, but, like, I would say that it's kind of a meme at this point. Like, I don't even know if it's ever actually going to release, man. Like, does Blue ever actually look at chat? Of course I do. I remember starting BDO at the end of 2016. Heard about Ashes of Creation in 2017. Still waiting. That's what I'm talking about, Ed.
Because they will want to play Ashes of Creation, but they will convince themselves that they've spent too much time in Elder Scrolls Online, or too much time in New World, or World of Warcraft.
I don't know. I think that might be a thing, but I don't really think that MMO players think this way. I used to think this way when I was younger. But I think that overall, if a new MMO comes out, I think that people are absolutely going to go play it. Right? Like, I don't think that anyone's not going to play Ashes of Creation because they spent 150,000 hours on Black Desert. Or because they've spent 150,000 hours on World of Warcraft or Guild Wars or whatever. I think everybody's going to go play Ashes and they're scared that it's going to be bad. Just like Asmon said, after this much time on development.
They will hate themselves for enjoying Ashes of Creation. The reason
I would not hate myself for enjoying a new game. I would not hate myself at all. I don't know about the rest of you guys. Like what like you're cheating on your original game? I don't know. What are we playing? PlayStation? Like that. I get that feel like what the Sony ponies and then the Xbox fans. Yeah, they get all hairy about it, but I don't really see that.
reason why people hate on the game is because they're worried that Ashes is gonna make their game redundant. And don't get me wrong, guys. I've spent 20, 30,000 hours in WoW. I've spent 10,000 hours in Guild Wars 2. I've spent 10,000 hours in Black Desert Online. I've done that. I'm 34 years old, mates. I'm not bound by things like sunk cost fallacy. I'm too old to give a shit. Life's too short, guys. If there's a better thing out there, then please stop wasting your time and money on these dog shit games and
I would completely agree. Stop wasting your money on Ashes of Creation until the game releases. That's not what he's saying, but that's what I'm telling you. Stop wasting money on the game until they release it.
Products. Just move on. It's okay. Stop letting sunk cost fallacy hold you back from having a good time. And I don't know if it's just because like I'm autistic.
The sunk cost fallacy of me playing Black Desert for as long as I have is not holding me back from spending $300 to play the Ashes of Creation Alpha 2. I was going to play Ashes of Creation Alpha 2. Do you know what stopped me? The $300 that it cost, or the $220 that it cost. I was like, well, dude, no, I'm not doing this. It's going to be like a beta 1 through 4, and then like, I'm not going to do this, man.
Or you know, just older and maturer, or I could never fathom the idea of a sunk cost fallacy. You're making it up. It's all in your head. It's all in your head, guys. Why would you consistently put yourself through things like dailies? If you're not enjoying something, then
agree.
Just stop doing it, right? That's
true. That's my primary philosophy in BDO. If you don't want to grind anymore, guys, you're getting burned down on it, go do something else, man. It's an open world sandbox MMO. Go do something else.
That's why World of Warcraft became a shit game. Because guess what? People wised up. And it's just not fun to play anymore. To do dailies. To log in. To grind reputation. It's not
I don't know, man. The only people that could kill WoW were Blizzard, and Blizzard killed WoW. Why it went down, there's a number. Like, you could go on for that for hours, so I'll just agree with him here.
Fun to log in, do a bunch of world quests, flying around the world, high in the sky, not interacting with any other player. It's not fun. Getting teleported to a dungeon, speed running through a dungeon, just to get basic currency rewards. It's not fun. That's why nobody wants to play retail WoW anymore. You can sit there and convince yourself that.
Can someone correct me if I'm wrong? Retail WoW is still the #1 played MMO in the entire genre, right? Classic WoW, and then I think it's like Classic WoW is like #2 or 3. Yeah, I think it's not even close. It's not even close. So like, yeah, they've hurt their game, but like they're still the best. They're still the best, man. It's not even like, and I'm pretty sure Classic is like the next highest.
Retail WoW is a popular game because they came out and they told us that it has 7 million subscribers still. Guys, World of Warcraft is split into 5 games. That's why it's got so many players, because it's no longer just World of Warcraft, is it? It's a whole bunch of games. It's hardcore WoW, it's classic WoW, it's Season of Discovery.
Oh, you want to separate them. Well, in that case, the top MMOs in the genre are Retail WoW, hardcore classic WoW, Season of Discovery, hardcore WoW, and then we can probably talk about Final Fantasy. RuneScape, and then Final Fantasy. Yeah, like it's even if you split them up, they're still the highest, man. It's crazy.
It's classic.
I don't think that hardcore WoW is actually all that popular anymore.
Cataclysm or Wrath of the Lich King, and it's retail. It's 5 games. That's why it's got 7 million players. How many of those players are bots? How many of those players are playing Season of Discovery? How many of those players are playing Classic? How many of those players are playing retail? We don't know.
But they are playing WoW, though. That still counts, right? Like,
oh, guys, Plunder Store.
By the way, I'm looking at playing WoW as like my next MMO. I kind of want to play it. It's like my next game that I want to dive into. Like with like a lot of time. I'm split between classic or retail, though. I don't know which one I want to do.
Yeah, I mean, the TLDR, guys, it's okay to move on with your life. If you don't enjoy something anymore, please stop doing it.
But I think also there's the component of people are...
I would play Throne and Liberty if it was ever going to release.
So invested into their current game, and then they don't want to have another game come.
He's gonna say it, right?
Come out that makes their current game irrelevant.
There it is.
I don't think people care as much about that. I think that the entire MMO, the only thing I constantly hear from all MMO players are, we are waiting for a good MMO. We are waiting for a good MMO. And we're playing this because there's nothing better right now, but we are waiting. And they will jump on every MMO hype train that they can get their hands on. If the game is good, they'll play it, but like it just never happens. Like that's the problem. I don't think that anybody cares anymore. We've all been playing the same games for like 10 years. We'd love to play a new game, you know? Like
that's the truth. Sorry, I see it every day. I mean, a controversial take. I think BDO's the best MMO currently. Doesn't mean I can't.
That's not controversial. He's just spitting facts. Based, true.
Say I don't want to play BDO anymore because, you know, BDO's turned into trash, but it is the best MMO for me, at least for me. But remember that people are different, right? People have got different needs from games, different needs. I like artisan gameplay loops with heavy focus on economy that doesn't tell me where to go or what to do and gives me a large variety of choice in how I want to do those things. That's exactly what BDO does. That's why I like BDO.
Yeah, I was gonna say that you just named all of the things that they're the reason that people like Black Desert.
I don't even participate in Black Desert Online's combat. I don't do the combat side of BDO.
You played 10,000 hours and didn't do the combat?
The economic and the account growth related stuff. For me, playing BDO is like I'm in an office typing up a storm. I'm doing my...
Oh, he's a spreadsheet enthusiast, guys. He's one of these people. You know what I mean? You're like, hey man, does anyone know which Imperial boxes I should make? And he's just like, join voice. Like you're in for like an hour discussion about why the Valencia meal is the best one. Really, you were just looking for like a 3-word response. You know what I mean? Like, it's one of these people. I love these people.
You know, spreadsheets. That's what BDO is
I
like
love
for me.
these
And
people.
I like that. That's fun for me. It's fun for my brain. It's probably because I'm a baker too, right? Because BDO is about time management, efficiency in your
He's
gameplay, and organization. If you haven't got these 3 things on point, then you will struggle in BDO. However, this is my specialties in life, so you know it suits me. Think about Eve. Yeah, the thing about Eve is I don't want.
Yeah, nobody wants to play Eve, man.
I don't like space. 2, in Eve, you don't really play a man, you play a spaceship, and I hate spaceships. I think spaceships are cringe. And 3...
What? You don't like Star Wars? That's basically what he just said. You heard the man.
3, BDO doesn't have any, like, you're not playing through the UI in BDO, right? You're actually playing through the game. And I feel like BDO does that really, really well.
True.
We can talk about it.
Yeah, you him up.
We can talk about it.
Do you know what? I don't even think the blood's that bad. It's giving information, right? What I would like is, because the thing about wound stacks. So what I would like to see is the size of the
Oh my god, that dude just bled out right there. That blood, that's too much.
blood is represented by how many stacks it has. That's a visual indicator at that point, isn't it? Then the actual effect that's coming from the character is now conveying information out to everyone around them that, hey, that guy's got a massive bleed on him. Let's switch to that guy and blow him up. Or
That is true, I guess. That's one way of looking at it. Although I've never looked at somebody in combat and been like, that guy's got to bleed. Let's kill that guy. Like,
or heal him. That guy's got a massive blood splatter. I should heal that guy.
okay,
Heal.
that I've seen, yes.
Heal, right? That's a visual clue. I think my opinion's changed. I used to have the standard opinion of, yeah, the blood's too big, fix the blood, blah, 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 blah. But now I'm thinking that actually maybe I prefer this way, where the blood splatter is indicated by how many stacks it's got. And you got to remember as well, is the way that
He makes a good point, but also, yeah, I don't like it.
they described it, the wound stacking is a viable spec option that the devs have taken into consideration when designing the fighter. So as it currently stands, or at least however they described it and how I think I understood it, is you can either go for just like a basic warrior that does big damage, big crits, big hits, or you can build to do wound damage over time and debuffs.
See, again, All right. He said he doesn't like comparing the two, but that's because BDO's in another league of like animations and stuff. Look at these animations, guys. And tell me you're not disappointed. Like, if you've played Alpha 1 and Alpha 2, didn't you spend like $400 already? BDO's like $1. It's like free with Prime.
So you've got choice there. These are specs now we're talking about. We're starting to talk about builds. We're starting to talk about build diversity. So what's it going to be? Is it going to be something like, if you want to be more of...
It looks worse than D3? Oh, it's way worse than Diablo 3. Diablo 3 looks way better than this. Are you kidding me? I played D3. Like,
debuffer.
And that wasn't even a good game.
Then you would go for this wound build that just stacks wounds really, really quickly, debuffs them really, really aggressively, and instead of doing massive damage, instead is it...
To be honest, I wouldn't even care if the effects looked really bad if the gameplay... The effects can always be fixed later. They can update those with patches and stuff. I don't really care as much about the effects as I do about, like, the way the combat looks fun to play. And the combat does not look nearly as good as Black Desert's. Like, that's the problem.
It hinders.
That was made in 2014.
That would be like an interesting way to build a warrior. And I hope that there's more than 2 build options, right? I hope there's like at least 5. Maybe 5's a bit over the top, right? But at the end of the day, I hope there's more than 2, because obviously Ashes of Creation has taken a lot of inspiration from Guild Wars 2, and I'm wondering if Ashes of Creation are also going to go for the crit builds versus...
The warriors are legit just a copy from WoW. All the skills are copies from WoW. They're legit just full-on copies from WoW. Well, the warrior is kind of just a staple in every game, right? You can make the similar comparison with WoW, like with Black Desert's warrior, right? 2014, a year and a half dev time.
Condition builds. Guild Wars 2 really only has 2 builds. It's got a condition build, which is built around debuffs and damage over time, or it's got crit builds, which is obviously chunks of damage with crit modifier increases. And that's really the only 2 types of builds you can go for. There is a support build, but who gives a shit about that? We're talking about DPS here. And I wonder if Ashes of Creation are going for that too, because they have normalized all of their debuffs too, which is what Guild Wars 2 do. Guild Wars 2, all of their debuffs are normalized around this standard stuff. So we've obviously got this one here, which is wound. This is a bleed over time, and I think it also reduces how much healing they take. I don't know what... To be honest, I don't know what... Let me in! Let's play the goddamn game!
That is nice.
And there it was. And that's why people are mad with Ashes of Creation. Did you hear it right at the end there? That little nuggie?
Let me in! Let's play the goddamn game!
That's all that needs to be said.
That is nice.
Everyone loves it! Our game is finally starting to be seen. Everyone loves the showcase. And do you know how happy that makes me? It's been so long trying to tell people, oh, you know, this is the vision. This is the vision. This has always been the vision. You know, back when the first showcase...
Are they paying him? Is he sponsored by Ashes of Creation? Is he developing the game? Guys, no, he would have like a sponsorship thing down here. He's in their like partner program, I think, but I don't know if they're actually paying him money. Like the way he's talking, it's like he's on the dev team. Like he's got like this fierce loyalty to a game that isn't even out. And the reason that none of the rest of us are seeing your vision, man, is because we want to play a game. And we can't play this one.
Case came around with the melee combat, and I was making video after video trying to explain like what the goal is with the combat. You know, it's not about what you currently see, it's about what where they're trying to get to. And it was so frustrating because Asmongold reacted to a few of those videos too, and he didn't get it. And I was thinking to myself, oh, holy shit, is he stupid? Has he never played an MMO? Like, does he not understand? And I was like, God damn it.
I hope he sees this. God, I hope he sees this.
Now that they've finally seen it with their own eyes, now they finally get it. And it's like, holy yes. Thank God.
What, because he made a passing comment?
The problem is whenever all of your spells and like your cooldown rotations or your rotational abilities without cooldowns are flashy.
It's coming out with a lot of base takes today, isn't he? It's coming out with a lot of base takes. Do you remember when we spent the last 2...
I love that was honestly the quote of the hour. Ashes of Creation is the best game I never played. True.
2 years trying to explain that, and then he spent the last 2 years telling us we're wrong. Weird, damn it. Do you know what I think the best spell effect in the whole of the repertoire is? It's Whirlwind. I think Whirlwind is the best spell effect because it's not noticeable at all, and it's
Which
really
one is
clean.
that?
In my opinion, people's anticipation to get into the Alpha 2 has increased like 2 to 3-fold since we've now seen the fighter, because how good the combat now looks. I think people were on the edge about the combat, but now that we've seen the combat, it's like, wow. It's been
Well, he's a life skiller in BDO, so like I don't know. Yeah, no, you good point
4 long
though.
years of feedback, 4 long years of iteration, and I think they're finally in a place that's better than all other MMORPGs on the market.
Oh my god. What did he just say? The very important. Did you hear the last part? All other MMO RPGs on the market. And the important part was that one right there. You can't compare it. Because it's not on the market. But also, did you just say that the combat looks better than the other MMOs that are out? It doesn't look better than BDO, and it definitely doesn't look better than, gosh, what's our primary competitor again? The Three Stooges stream. God, Lost Ark. It definitely doesn't look better than Lost Ark either. What are we even talking about?
That's
We're talking like it might look marginally better than World of Warcraft, guys, which came out in 2006.
And I think they're finally in a place that's better than all other MMORPGs on the market. And it's not even close. The thing that's blown my mind is that they've managed to keep the core foundations of what makes combat feel good in an MMO. And that is freedom of movement whilst attacking. And they actually nailed it. That was the one thing that I was worried about.
Oh my god, man. Your bar for what makes, like, good combat. Okay, the bar for good combat, is bar. It's down here, guys. His bar for good combat is you can move while attacking. Woo! Groundbreaking stuff, guys. Groundbreaking stuff. I don't even think I could limbo underneath that bar. That's crazy. What are we talking about? It's 2024.
I was worried that they were going to f up the freedom of movement and they were going to go for some dog shit where you get like slowed and stuff when you're swinging your weapons, but apparently not. I want Ashes of Creation. This guy linked one.
Oh, gather round me, hearties, and lend your ears to a tale of a scam bringing sorrow and fears. Ashes of creation, they promised a creation, they promised a glory so grand. But truth me, lads, it was far from that land.
Wait, he's saying it's garbage.
Sail away with hearts filled with rage. For ashes of creation, a scam of our age. We'll raise our voices, sing the truth loud and clear. Beware, me hearty.
This is kind of based, guys.
The cultists draw near. They spoke of a world alive and so vast, but behind the smoke and mirrors, a scheme was cast. The cultists, they reveled with brain rot in their minds, blinded by false promises. They left us all behind. Sail away with hearts filled with rage. For ashes of creation, a scam of our age. We'll raise our voices, sing the truth loud and clear. Beware, me hearties, the cultists draw near. They left us all behind.
Fucking hell, that was...
I love how they're literally pirates singing it like they're the developers. That's great. Like they stole money. That's insane. You can't really compare the combat to BDO. BDO has great mob grinding combat, but balancing such flashy and impactful combat has proven next to impossible for PvP, made things like large scale. That's not true. They're pretty good about, like, they're pretty reasonable about it. Organized group content impossible. That's not true at all. Group content in BDO is really solid. They misplay a couple times here and there. There are classes that are always going to be stronger or weaker than other classes, but there's no game-breaking stuff that's really going on in BDO that makes large-scale content less fun. The combat is obviously going to have a bit more on the traditional side. Okay, well then I'll compare it to Lost Ark. Is the combat as good as Lost Ark? Are the effects as good as Lost Ark? I'll compare it to like almost any MMO. Honestly, WoW has basically exactly the same combats. It's basically just a kind of a hybrid tab target thing going on, right? Like,
Sick! But as usual, I am just one nerd, desperate for a good MMO, and that's all the news I have for you today. Make sure you tune into the stream over at twitch.tv/Narcoverse, as the topics from these videos tend to come organically through links from our Power Social freaks in chat, because they're high on copium.
Alright, I'll give it a thumbs up. Here's the video right here. I don't necessarily agree with everything that he said. He had some good takes in there, though. Like, again, I think that he's not wrong. He's super high on copium. He says that all the time, but, like, you could really feel it. I mean, you can really feel it in this video. This is... Woo! Man. That was something. That was something.